Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my weekly predictions video for what I think is going to happen in next week's episode of The Walking Dead Season 8. This is for episode 4. It's called Some Guy. And spoiler warning if you guys are not caught up for The Walking Dead, which is up to Season 8, Episode 3. So going into Episode 4 now, next weekend with Some Guy. Going to do our predictions on what we think is going to happen. So if you guys did not see, I did a review earlier, about almost 20 minutes long for Episode 3. So much crazy stuff still in Episode 3. This season just off to one of the craziest starts ever with 3 episodes just back-to-back of absolute insanity. Episode 4 apparently is going to be somewhat similar, as Scott Gimple has said, who's a showrunner for Walking Dead, that the first 4 episodes are really the crazy ones. Those are the big time action, very intense, very crazy episodes, and it looks like from the promo that's exactly what we're going to see with Some Guy. So I'll put the links to the sneak peek as well as the promo in the description below, so you guys can go ahead and check those out from AMC. So the synopsis or episode description for Some Guy reads, "A new weapon in the Savior arsenal proves to be a giant hurdle as fighting continues between Rick's forces and those of the Saviors." From the sneak peek and the promo, we get a really good idea of what the action in this episode looks like. And what it pretty much looks like is the last final outpost for the Saviors that they still have in action right now. So if you look at the first few episodes of this season, Rick and the group have absolutely decimated the Saviors so far. And people can say, well, yes, but the kingdom has been kind of mowed down by the 50 cal at this point, but not all of the kingdom. I mean, they have quite a few in terms of numbers, and yes, there was a group there with Ezekiel that were, a lot of them were mowed down, but Carol wasn't with them. I don't think Jerry was there. They were a bit spread out, and of course, there's, a lot of people from the kingdom. It's a big community, so it was just kind of like one section of them that was killed. There was a number of them killed, though. We shouldn't say that the Saviors didn't kill any of them, as well as, we see Eric be killed, we see some of the members of Rick's group in that location in that battle were killed. So there have been casualties on both sides, but overall so far it has pretty much been almost a sweeping victory for Rick and the joint survivors community. If you look at the different outposts, if you look at the numbers, if you look at how the battle has gone, Rick and the others have really been cleaning up, having a huge group of them surrender at one of the biggest outposts, Rick and the others cleaning the whole damn place out at the other outposts when they're looking for the big guns, and then this group here, which we're just getting to finally see at this point with Gavin's remaining, kind of outpost here with the 50 cal. So we see in the sneak peek, Carol goes in to the building where they had the 50 cal and they shot down a lot of the Kingdomers. So she's kind of sneaking in, being really quiet, that kind of thing, and it really does look exciting. You've got some guy who's kind of yelling. She can kind of hear the guns being loaded and the drip of a faucet, which they've done really well with that this season too, where during the action you have these slow scenes where they kind of go through and they're sneaking through trying not to make much noise, and you hear these things, and then someone will kind of jump out at you or show up, or you'll have our group will kind of get the jump on them or something like this, and it's just very, very exciting to see. Now the straightforward action is awesome, but just kind of that, cops are kind of going in and then boom, something happens. It's tense, and it's awesome as well too. So she's going down the hallway. She's kind of hiding at one spot as one bigger guy comes in. He's kind of yelling at the others to load up the damn 50 cal, to load up the gun, because they're apparently most likely going to bring it back to Negan at the sanctuary and clear the place out if they can get it through there. So there is a scene, of course, too, in the promo where we have Rick, and he's kind of driving up beside somebody, and we saw this in the trailer, and then he kind of hops in, he ditches his car and jumps in. So that looks pretty damn exciting as well too, with kind of a on the road type of action sequence, which we haven't really seen much of. I'm trying to think in all The Walking Dead, have we ever had in The Walking Dead a kind of on the road type of cat and mouse chase, or one chasing another? I mean, there's some stuff in season 5 where you see Rick run over Bob, and you got some movement there on the road, which it's really exciting. But yeah, it's got to be hard for them to shoot it. It's got to be difficult for them to do, but it looks great. And you would think that in a zombie apocalypse you would have that kind of fighting happening. There's a little bit of season 6 too, you know, always accountable and stuff when you have Daryl kind of goes down on the bike the one time. So man, does it really look exciting. It really, really does. And it's really cool to get to see, you know, this kind of stuff when they can, you know, fit it in, when they can, you know, figure out a way to kind of do it and not fall behind on shooting or something like that. So it really does look exciting. I thought it was an awesome kind of twist, or at least being caught off guard moment at the end of episode 3, when all of a sudden you find out that there's a perch and they've got this 50 cal and boom, you know, down on them. And, you know, it's also realistic as well, too, because even though, you know, Ezekiel kind of views himself as like invincible at this time, then all of a sudden, you know, some guy with a huge gun just comes out of nowhere and just starts mowing people down, and it's just like one after another after another. So we face dire challenge and change, rushing out at peace into war. Our lives hang in the balance. We will fight and we will bleed. So he might, maybe Ezekiel gives the best speeches of anybody. I don't know. Maybe it's his flair for the dramatic, but I love Ezekiel's speeches. Rick's are great too. Maggie's are okay. But personally, I think Ezekiel's might be my favorite out of the speeches. You've got one where Carol's surrendering, so she's putting her hands up, but we know that you can't judge by that in a promo, because we just saw that last week in last week's promo of Ezekiel and the others putting their hands up, and it was a trap. So we'll have to see. You know, I can see here maybe Carol being captured by them, but then Ezekiel and the others freeing her before, you know, because again, it's like, where's this group going to go? Even if there's a few remaining members, if they kind of take the 50 cal with them and they head back to the sanctuary, it's not like there's really anything waiting there for them. It's not like they can just roll right in and they'll be safe and sound. The place is absolutely overrun right now, so they're going to have to clear it out if, you know, if Negan and the others are to get out. So, you know, I feel like even though the Saviors kind of seem to have the upper hand right now with this new weapon, as we know now is 50 cal, still I feel like, you know, Rick and the others have done so well so far in the war. They could stand to lose some casualties, or even maybe lose a whole damn group, and they still have fared better than, you know, you would think that they would, considering the amount of members that the Saviors actually do have. And any one of them can shoot you and kill you. One bullet's all it takes, and there's just so many all over the place. So, wow, what an exciting season so far. And I'm, you know, like I've been saying in the review earlier, this might end up being the best season they've ever done in Walking Dead. It's just been so, if you like action. If you don't like action, then I totally get it, that you might not like it. But for me, it's like, wow, this is amazing. So, episode 4, very excited for it myself. The Some Guy title, we'll have to see. You know, we'll have to see, because these villains that Rick and the others are fighting, they're not really villains that we know of right now. They're not like a group. Like, we know who Gavin is. We know who the other guy is with the long hair that annoys. It's not Jared? Is that his name? Something like that pisses Morgan off with because of what he did with killing Ben. So we know that group. And this is Gavin's outpost that he was at before, but we haven't really seen many of these saviors that it looks like Rick and the others are fighting in this episode. So excited to see Carol be super badass, maybe eventually, you know, meet her match and surrender, but then I'm predicting that someone's going to save her and she won't be taken back to Negan or anything like that. And then maybe this will be the last episode of the 4, and episode 5 we might see Negan and the saviors kind of figure out a way to kind of get in and then start to plan and figure out how they're going to kill all the zombies around and kind of break out of the state that they're in right now. But damn, what an exciting season so far. Episode 4 looks great. Can't wait to see the on-road action. Can't wait to see if they're able to return the guns, or if Rick and Daryl are able to cut them off or something. It's just, man, it's what a crazy season. They're definitely going for it. You know, you got to give them that. If you say, well, I don't like the fact they brought Morales back, I don't like this, I don't like that, too much action or too hard to follow or whatever, too many cutting, too much cutscenes and that, but you cannot deny that they are going for it. They're trying. You know, they're giving it everything they got. So very excited to see episode 4 again too. And I feel like already this half we've seen probably more action, even just until now, than sometimes we see in a whole season, you know, of the show. You know, I think if you compare, if you look at the amount of action sequences, like, damn, they probably did more in this quarter than some seasons of the entire series. So let me know what you guys think is going to happen in this episode. Leave me your comments below. Check out the other videos here, the review, the reaction for the big death in episode 3. And what do you think is going to happen here? Do you think the guns are going to be able to actually be returned to the sanctuary? What would they even do if they get there, because the zombie herd is there? Or do you think Rick and Daryl are going to be able to kind of cut them off? And do you think maybe we might see the Junkyard group pretty soon somehow involved in this? Maybe catch Rick or catch Daryl or something like that? Because we did see some stuff in the trailer of them, so we should be seeing them pretty soon. So they might come into play maybe this episode or the next. Damn, man, we'll see. Awesome stuff for Walking Dead so far this season. Just loving this to pieces, absolutely. If you guys like this video, please thumb it up below. Leave a prediction of your own below. What do you think is going to happen? Predictions, not spoilers. If you got inside info, not that, but what you think is going to happen if you don't know, which is the state that I'm in. Leave those comments below. That's it for this one, guys. We'll see you again soon for a Q&A video tomorrow. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.